Hi guys, welcome to my blog. I'm Gemma and I'm the owner and founder of the Virtual PA. Literally just launched last week. It's a new virtual services for admin and call handling. So I worked in an office for 10 years, worked my way from a junior up to an office manager, and I've done PAing for senior managers. I've been a typist, a receptionist, and all sorts of jobs in between. So I like to think that I'm very good at what I do. So vlogging was a little bit of a daunting idea for me, but I found it really hard to know where to turn when I was facing issues, or where do I go when I want advice on certain aspects of launching a business. I've never known anyone to do it, so I've never seen any of the problems, and doing it myself, it's opened my eyes that actually it's a lot tougher than you think it's going to be. So here I am, and I want to invite you on this journey with me. I want to show you the issues I face and hopefully how to overcome them. And I want to be able to share my highs with you. I'm hoping that I succeed and I don't fail, because that would be rather embarrassing. But I thought it was important to have a very open and honest account of launching a business. So that's what the idea of this blog is. If you've got any questions, please feel free to leave them and I will try and answer them or get them answered for you, and maybe as a community we can answer them together. And if there are any vlogs that any of you guys think you'd like me to do, then feel free to drop me a line too, and I will do my research, my homework, and I will try to get as many of them answered as I can. So this is my second week of officially going out solo as the contemporary PA. I started doing the website and the social medias a few months ago, but was working at the same time full time for somebody else. So in my first week I got my first 2 clients, which was just incredible. I'd hoped that I'd get busy straight away, but it's not always that easy, and I was a bit of a fear of whether I was doing the right thing and whether anyone would be interested. So I'm really excited to have already claimed my first 2 clients. So how did I get those first 2 clients is probably one of the biggest things that people want answering. I myself didn't really know how I was going to get my clients or where they were going to come from. I did a lot of research and spent a lot of money into marketing, into networking events, into advertising, and didn't seem to get very much back from it whatsoever. Funnily enough, the way that these clients came about was through word of mouth, through people I already know. So that's the biggest key to begin with, is shout about your business to every person you know, because you never ever know who they're going to be talking to, if they're going to need your skills, if they're going to need what you're doing, if they're going to invest. And that's what happens. So I model for a wedding shop in town, and the owner is just absolutely fantastic, proper girl boss, and she just happened to be speaking to somebody who's been looking for a while for an assistant PA, for a virtual PA. Hasn't met anybody that she feels she could have a relationship with in terms of trusting to do the work, which is a big key. Relationships are a massive thing to businesses, and building them and keeping them is huge. That's going to win you clients, that's going to lose you clients, it's going to keep your clients. So the biggest thing that I would say is to just make sure that you stay in contact with them, communicate with people you're dealing with, get to know the businesses that you're working with, that you're working for. It means a lot to them, and it's going to assist you and aid you if you can understand their business, understand the type of people you're working with and working for. Okay, and following on from the people that you know already that you're going to shout about it to, I've been doing a lot of networking events, so a lot of them at breakfast. 6:30 in the morning isn't a nice time, and I never knew it existed. but they're a really good way to go and just meet people. You learn a lot when you attend these meetings. The biggest mistake that people make, myself included, is that you go to these things thinking that you're going to sell your business, thinking that you're going to meet clients there, and it's completely not that. You are going to make relationships with people. You're going, yes, to put your name out there and say, hi, I'm here and this is what I do and this is who I am, and hopefully you need my services or you know somebody that does. But you're just going to talk. You're going to get your name out there. People are going to know that you're around. You're establishing your section in your industry. You are going to learn, you're going to talk to people and see what they face, see how they can help you. Some of these networking events have talkers. So this morning I've just been to one and we were spoken to about cyber security, which is absolutely key at the moment. It's a massive thing and I learned a lot from that as well. Maybe I can do a topic for you on that when I learn a little bit more and know the answers to what I need to know. And I just made a lot of connections to people who have been running businesses a lot longer than I have. They've already seen the troubles that they face and some of them are really inspirational. It's well worth going to. You never know what you're going to get out of it. And it's just getting your name out there again and getting you out there. Chances are you're not going to meet your clients at these networking events, but they will remember you, they will have your card, and they will talk about you. And when they suddenly talk to somebody who goes, oh, I need someone to take my calls, hopefully, if you've made that impression and you've left that impression, they're going to go, oh, well, actually, I know of someone, she comes to our breakfast meetings. And on these meetings, they are endless. There are so many out there, and each time you are paying between £5 and £20, and that's just if you're paying as you go. Some of them charge membership fees, and these can be hundreds of pounds annually. So what I would suggest is don't wing it like me. I thought I'd go to as many as I can and get my name out. Do your research. Research the people. If it's a members breakfast or members meeting, a networking event, research the type of people that are going, research the industries that are going to be there, and if it's not related, then you don't need to waste your money on that. Marketing in these networkings can be an endless money pit, so do your research. Some offer you free taster sessions, and I would always advise going to as many of those as possible, just because you're getting yourself out there and you can test whether or not the networking and the people who go to these are going to be for you. You need to go into these places and feel comfortable, because a lot of the time you are going to be talking about yourself, and if you're anything like me, that can be a really daunting process. So part of the hurdle is feeling comfortable, being around people there that you know you're going to be able to talk with and that you know you're going to be able to communicate with. As I said, it is a really daunting prospect going to these networking events and talking about yourself. So do your homework before you go. Make sure you've got your marketing material, so your business cards, any leaflets that people can take away. But also prepare what you want to say. It's never easy, and this morning I completely forgot everything. I was a bit like, who am I? What do I do? Where am I? But it comes with practice and it comes with over time. But just prepare the points that you want to make. You're not going in for the hard sell. You're just suggesting what you can do. But make sure you get those points in. Make sure that you tell people it's the who, what, where, how. And that's really important. And preparation is key. You can never prepare too much. There's always going to be questions that people ask you, which you're not prepared for. You got to prepare yourself to face some doubters, some people who maybe don't see your idea or don't believe in your idea, and then you obviously meet people who really back your idea and they see it and they think it's a great idea. So when that happens, your self-doubt's sometimes going to kick in, and self-doubt is a massive killer. I've suffered self-doubt, wondering whether this is something people are going to want. Are they going to like me? Am I going to be good enough? Do I meet all the legal requirements? There's a lot, and it slowly trickles in, and you overanalyze and you overthink. So just remember that you've got to have that self-belief. Even if you are faced with people who don't see it, have that belief. Keep pushing. Just keep remembering why you're doing it, why you started it, which is why it's great to have a business plan as well, because it tells you why you're making the decisions you have. And it just reaffirms that you have this idea, you believed in it enough that you're going to go for it. So yeah, self-doubt is going to creep in. We all have it. I started panicking at whether I was going to get any clients. And it's a massive fear for everyone. But just remember to keep going. These businesses aren't as easy to launch as people make them out to be, or as you think they're going to be. They take time and they take effort and real hard work, and you've got to give yourself at least a year to be able to really start seeing benefits from what you're doing and to start seeing things coming in. And that's a long time to wait when you're nervous, but just keep going and things will come your way, I promise. So some of you watching this may already have your business idea. You may have already launched and just facing a few troubles. You might even be well established. Or maybe for some of you, you might know you want to work for yourself, but need some inspiration on what to do. We've all sat there daydreaming about launching massive businesses that are going to make us millionaires and finding that product that everybody needs to launch on the market and it's going to sell off the shelf. In reality, that's not necessarily the way to go, and most of us aren't that creative, unfortunately. So what I would suggest is look at your skills. What is it that you do at the moment? What is it that you think the company you work for can do better? What can you do better than everybody else that's out there that you know? For me, as I say, I worked in a law firm for 10 years, so I've got the admin skills. I know how to answer a telephone, I know how to do invoices, and I know how to chase. So it was a bit of a no-brainer for me. So just really think about what it is you're good at. And at the end of the day, some of the richest people in the world have several channels of money coming in. They have several businesses. Most millionaires don't rely on that one business to bring it all in. So this is just a starting point. Nothing says you have to be in it forever. Nothing says you can't expand. Nothing says you can't grow. But it's just to launch you. It's just to give you confidence. It's a bit of a free run to learn how to do your accounts, to learn how to look after employees, to understand your obligations. It's literally just a starting point. And the biggest and easiest way to have a starting point is do what you're already doing, but do it for yourself. And don't be afraid to fail. So a lot of us, including myself, go into launching a business with the fear that it's not going to work. It's just going to be a failure. I don't want that on my shoulders. I want it to succeed. Obviously, we all want to succeed. But failure is how we learn. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from things going wrong. So never be afraid to fail. I think when you look at some of the biggest establishments in the world, they've all had ideas that didn't take off. Virgin have had ideas that didn't work. They didn't take off. Yet they've got an absolute huge portfolio of things that have worked. So never be afraid to fail. You're going to learn. You're going to make mistakes. But that's part of the excitement. That's part of the experience. That's part of learning. That's part of life. And some of our greatest ideas come from our failure. And okay, so we've got our idea. We know how we're going to market it. Then it's looking at all the things that you need in order to actually be able to launch. So the first and most obvious item on the list should be a website. It can be very basic, or it can be really in-depth, loads of pages, loads of detail. You can pay somebody to do it for you, or you can do it a do-it-yourself job. But it's really important. It's important that there are places for clients to go and look, to refer to. Your contact details are going to be on there. It's just a constant reminder that people can go there and see what you do, see what you offer. And hopefully Google might be able to find you and locate you, which is always a great help. So the do-it-yourself option, there are so many applications out there and website builders out there that it can be a little bit of a minefield. I myself use Wix, which was great for what I needed when I first started. It's very user-friendly. So for somebody who has no background in design or website creation, it was really easy and really straightforward, and I could launch my website within a couple of weeks. The things that you need to consider are your content. You need to make sure you've got content on there and check your SEOs, which are really difficult, but there's loads and loads of information about how to do that out on the internet, so do your research. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to have a domain. This is your URL or your website address. There are free website tools out there which will let you build a free website. So you need to decide on your budget. A lot of these free websites include their URL and their name after your website. So for example, mine would have been the Contemporary PA at Wix.com. To be more professional and to build a brand, you want to get rid of that element if you can. So it's worth budgeting in to be able to buy your own domain. And these really, again, shop around, they really change in price. You can be charged hundreds to pennies. Do your research. GoDaddy is where I got my domain from, and I think it was £10 for 2 years, which is absolutely fantastic. What I didn't realise, and I got caught out on, which is worth considering and do your research on, is Wix charge a hosting fee because I didn't buy the domain through them. So I also now have a £4.50 charge every month to be able to use that domain. So as I say, do your homework, do your research. One of my clients uses WordPress for their website, and it's really, really popular. And I would advise to anyone to definitely have a look into it and see whether it works for you. It's got themes which make it easier to launch a very basic, straightforward website, but you can customise it for you and your need a lot more than you can Wix. So I would definitely suggest perhaps having a look at that. But it's about what works for you, what you can use. But just, yeah, have a play around with it and have fun. Make it your own. It's your place to show off what you do. You can start small and then add more pages on. So mine, for example, had a homepage. Now it's got a blog, and now it's got a Meet the Team, which is just me at the moment. But it's where I can tell people about what I've done. Another problem I faced is that I've got quite a young baby face. So people haven't taken me as seriously when I first walk into a room. They just see a young girl starting out on her own. And before they even ask any questions, they've judged me. They've judged me on the way I look. They've judged me on the way I've done my makeup, which I have had comments about, and it's really frustrating. So for me, it was really important to get on that website, almost a bit like my CV, about who I am, about what I've done, the fact that I have worked for 10 years in an office, that I have managed a big office which is split over 2 sites and had ridiculous amounts of people, of staff that, you know, I had to appraise, I had to look after. I've got insights, I've got the knowledge, and I shouldn't have to do that. But unfortunately, it's a big thing for people, and I completely understand it. But your website is going to be a reflection of you, and if that's one of the things that you're facing, then stand up to it, confront it, prove to them that actually, yeah, you might be young in terms of your career. You might be young looking, you might be younger than what they're used to, but you've got the experience, you can offer the services they want, you've got the brains. It's not just about what I look like or that I'm a woman. The other issue that I faced is that you are going to meet people in similar roles and similar industries called your competition. Now, they are in some respects competing against you. You all want the business, of course you do, but there is certainly enough work in any industry for a lot of people to thrive. Don't see them as your competition at all. Make yourself go out of your way to talk to them. If they're a well-established firm, a well-established company, you can probably learn a lot from them anyway. And actually, by building a strong relationship with them, you soon can work together. It's not about competing. It's not about tearing strips off one another. It's just about working alongside each other. Okay, so once you've got your website, the next obvious step is to do your social media. Now, this is going to take up a lot of time, and it is a world of craziness. Understanding your target audience, understanding how to pitch is difficult, not going to lie. It's a huge learning curve, and I'm still learning it myself. There are tools if you go for the business socials, which means that you can analyse certain things. You can see who your customers are when they're online, so you get a little bit of an insight when it's the best time to tweet. You can narrow it down to age ranges, to genders. It's great, but there's a lot to understand. So I would definitely, if you can, try and find a social media course that's going to teach you the basics, that's going to give you a little bit more insight to what you already know. But it can't be a bad thing. Social media is huge, and it's a free marketing tool, and if it's used correctly, it is an amazing tool. If it's used incorrectly, it just becomes a full-time job with not much back from it. Obviously you want to use Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, LinkedIn. It's endless. You've got your Pinterest. So really be aware of what you're using, and if you've got them, make sure that you are using them, make sure that you're posting, but make sure your posts are relevant. You need to be posting 2-3 times a day just to make sure that you're getting yourself out there. There are tools that means you can schedule it, because otherwise you will literally be on your phone or your computer forever. One of the biggest decisions when you're talking about social media is the security that comes with it. Facebook, for example, you're going to be using a personal profile, and then you have a business page. Now, obviously, whatever you post is out there for everybody to see. Sole traders, for example, like myself, tend to register your home address for your business. That's out there in the public domain. You use your mobile number, your email. That's out there for everybody to see. If you can get a business mobile, do that, because then it keeps it completely separate from your personal life. But remember that whatever you share instantly will be able to be seen by everyone. Now, they all have privacy policies and privacy settings, which you need to decide what you want to do, how you want to use those, and really, again, do your homework, do your research. As a company and a business, you need to be as open and as easy to find as possible. So you don't want your Instagram and your socials to be hidden. On the other hand, as an individual person, you don't want people to know all about you. You don't want all your personal details out there. Cybercrime is on the rise, and it's really easy to use these tools if you know how, do get data on you, to get information on you. So just be really, really careful when you're using your social media. It's a must do for any business. You have to do it, but just do your homework and do your research. For me, I want to be found. I want people to find my business. I want people to know who I am. I want people to be able to search for me as well as my business. When I go to some of these networking events, they don't remember my business name, but they remember mine. So I want to be located. I want to be able to be found as well. But then that makes me more mindful of what I'm posting. And remember, it's not just about what you're posting either, it's about the people that you're surrounded by. So if you're going out on a Saturday night and your friend's tagging you into a video or a photo, then maybe you wouldn't want people to see that you work for. Just bear that in mind. Some of you might be working in really professional establishments and it just doesn't look great. So be really, really mindful of weighing up the pros and cons of having a personal account or a business account, or whether you do a joint one, and in which case what the restrictions are. So you've got your social media and you've got your website and you've got your idea. There's going to be a lot of business cards, leaflets, there's all sorts that you need to get printed up and think about. Don't overdo it. With social media on the increase, a lot of people will just add you whenever you're in a room with them. So sometimes business cards aren't even needed, but they are still a valuable tool. So you need to account for those. And think about your branding. It's really easy to get excited and to get carried away and to launch your website, to launch your social media, to get your business cards printed, to get your leaflets printed. And then before you know it, you haven't even thought about your branding. You may have got your logo, but it's really important to follow that through. So you want to use the same colours, you want to use the same styles, you want to use the same themes. All I can say is plan. My business was a bit of a winged attempt and I've pulled it off so far, but I wouldn't suggest it. Make sure that you know in your head and get those ideas on paper. Know where you want to go, know what it is that you want to get across to people, and choosing the right branding. You're creating a brand, you're creating a company. Branding's really, really important. It's what's going to separate you from people that are already out there. It's what's going to get across what you're about, what your business is about, and it stays with you. Once you've been running for a while under a brand, if you figure out that you've got that wrong, it's really, really difficult to rebrand. Especially if you already have clients and you already have people that recognise you for one thing, and it's really costly. So making a plan and getting that right from day one is probably one of the most important things that you have to do. And alongside branding plans, make a plan of where you want to be. Set yourself goals, set yourself challenges. They don't have to be massive. They can just be as small as get 5 posts out today about this, record my blog, write my article, or they can be massive. Get 10 clients by December, get 20 clients within 3 months. But set yourself targets, set yourself challenges so you've got something to work alongside and you know where you want to be. Set your plan for where you want your business to be in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years. It's going to give you direction and it's going to give you motivation. It's really easy to get stuck and not really know where you want to go or what you want to do, especially when you're working for yourself and you've got nobody to bounce that off of. So getting those ideas out of your head so you can sleep at night and onto paper is going to be really, really helpful. It's also going to allow you to make a strategy to get there. And without a strategy, a lot of businesses fail. And although you're going to have a strategy and a plan, which is the idea, it's what you're going to follow, remember to be flexible. Things change and things will change. So you've got to be flexible with it and you've got to just sometimes go with it. But it's a fundamental idea of what you're about, what your business is about, where you want to be. So just go for it. And with all this hard work going on, and believe me, it is really hard work. Nobody tells you when you first come up with the ideas just how difficult it is. by the point that people have got their businesses running and they're running everyday businesses and facing other issues, they forget all about the launching and how difficult it is. And I'm not going to lie, it's really hard work. I don't sleep very well at night. I've got ideas buzzing around my head all the time. I'm wondering when I'm going to start getting clients, when I'm going to have money coming in, how I go about getting clients, how I go about getting my name out there, how I go about getting people to take me seriously. It's really, really hard work. And when you're doing it for yourself, it's even harder. It's almost like you have a point to prove, and obviously you want to make a success of it. But it's really, really hard, and it's not 9 to 5 or 10 till 4, I'm going to work these hours around me. You work every day and every hour you're given. As soon as your phone goes off and you hear a ping on your email, you answer it, you respond to it. As soon as the phone rings, you answer it. As soon as you've got an idea, you write it down, you fathom it out, you add more to it. It's constantly on the go. You're constantly looking for clients, you're constantly looking for ways that you can improve your business. It doesn't stop. Yes, it's flexible in terms of working around you, but it is really full on and it's really, really hard work. So make sure that in your schedules and your plans, you are making time for you. Make time to do the things that you want to do and the things that you enjoy. Have your downtime. You need to be able to clear your head. You need to be able to come into work and have a clear mindset and to be able to actually function. So make sure you're having fun. Make sure you're doing the things you want to do and enjoy it. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, enjoy the experience, and it will be worth it in the end. What you'll also find is people like to relate to you. Clients and the public, they want somebody that they feel they can connect with, that they can trust, someone who's just like everybody else. They don't want a businessman or woman. They don't want someone who's intimidating. They want to see a softer side. They want to see that you enjoy life. They want to know who you are. They want to know about your family. They want to know what you enjoy. And actually, if you do it right, it's part of your marketing tool. It's part of your sales pitch. It's this is who I am. Come and invest in me. Come and use my business. So as I say, it is only my second week. So I haven't got masses of inspiring stories to tell you right now. Although I've obviously shared a few of the issues that I've faced and shared my highlights of my 2 clients. And I really, really hope that you've all found this kind of useful, or that you will find the vlogs useful, and that you'll come back and watch again. And as I say, if you've got any questions or you've got any ideas of what you want me to vlog about, then just let me know. And hopefully I will see you all soon.